Hey there everyone, welcome back, and if you're new here, my name is Jess and this is Cinderella's Apron. Today we are making this incredible Cuban sandwich just like the one they serve at Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort. Layers of beautiful, tender Mojo pork loin, Swiss, ham, yellow mustard, and pickles melted and pressed to super crispy golden perfection. I'm going to show you step by step how to make a traditional Mojo pork with ease, and this sandwich will become a new favorite for sure. So let's put our apron on and go get started. So first things first, we need to get our Mojo pork marinating. So I have 1/8 cup of lime juice, and I'm adding in 1 cup of orange juice, 1/4 cup of olive oil, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of oregano, 1 teaspoon of cumin, and 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. And then we're just going to whisk that together. So I have a piece of an onion here, and we're just going to dice it up about 1/4 cup's worth, and it does not have to be perfect by any means. We're just cutting it up to release the flavors into the marinade. So I have 6 cloves of garlic here, and I like to very carefully take the blade of my knife and crush the garlic. This really helps release all of that beautiful garlic flavor. And then we're just going to dice that up as well. So I have a 1-pound pork tenderloin that I poked holes in with a fork, and that's going to really help the marinade's flavors get really deep into the meat. So we are going to pour the marinade over the top, cover it with plastic wrap, and you want to marinate this in the refrigerator for at least an hour. Overnight is even better. And while that's marinating, we are going to get started on our complete seasoning. So I have 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, 1 tablespoon of onion powder, 1/2 tablespoon of cumin, 1/2 tablespoon of coriander, 1/2 tablespoon of parsley, 1/2 tablespoon of oregano, 1/2 tablespoon of salt, and 1/2 tablespoon of pepper. And we are just going to mix that together. Now, complete seasoning is a blend that's used in South American and Caribbean cooking. You can buy a blend at the store, but I find that a lot of them have MSG in it, so I just like to make my own. So now that our pork has been marinating for a couple of hours, I have a sheet pan lined with parchment paper, and we are just going to take the pork out of the marinade and sprinkle on our complete seasoning. I used about 1 tablespoon, but you just want to get a nice coating of that on the pork. So I have my oven preheated to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, and we are going to roast the pork for about 30 minutes or until the internal temperature hits 150 degrees Fahrenheit. And then we want to just let that rest for 10 minutes. If you cut into the pork too soon, you'll lose a lot of those beautiful juices that we worked so hard for with the marinade, so you really want to let it rest and cool down a little bit so that all of the juices will stay in the meat and it'll be really nice and tender. So I'm slicing the pork into 1/8-inch pieces. I find that works really well for the sandwich, but we also eat this pork as is with some roasted potatoes and vegetables. It's so delicious. Sometimes I even make a double batch and freeze it. But moving on to our sandwiches, I have some crusty French bread that I'm cutting in 6-inch pieces. And I am spreading yellow mustard crust to crust. As Jeff Morrow would say, crust to crust is a must. I'd say about 2 tablespoons or so, but really to taste. And then 2 slices of Swiss cheese, 2 slices of boiled ham, some slices of dill pickle. I just like to cover the bread so you get pickle in every bite. And then our pork on top. You can do about 3 to 4 pieces. And close our sandwich up and we are ready to press. Now I preheated my panini press and I also melted 3 tablespoons of butter with 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and I'm just brushing that on the bottom of the press and then also brushing it on the top piece of bread. And we are just going to press these for about 5 to 6 minutes or until the bread is nice and crunchy. No panini press? No problem. You can absolutely do this on your stove. You're just going to need 2 skillets, and you want to cover the bottom of one skillet with aluminum foil. Put the sandwich in the other skillet with the garlic butter, and then you're going to use the skillet covered with aluminum foil to press down on the top of the sandwich, cooking over medium-high heat. I have to say, Cuban sandwiches are one of my absolute favorites. If I see it on a menu anywhere, I always order it, but there's something special about that one at Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort, and I am so glad that I got to try and recreate it at home for you. Thank you so much for coming along and making Cuban sandwiches with me today. If you enjoyed it, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, as it really does help my channel. And if you want to see more fun Disney-inspired recipes in the future, be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye!